What's going on, guys? This is Barker, back with another video talking about the NBA, not March Madness this time. I'm going to be making more March Madness videos, and honestly, I'm going to make a new intro soon, so look out for that. Look out for a lot of videos, because obviously I see this as, you know, a dream to me, to be a YouTuber. So obviously, I'm going to try my ass off to make that dream come true. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to be talking about the NBA trade deadline. And I'm kind of going to go down the line and say who trade targets are, where they should go, if I think they should be traded, you know, how much money they should make, should they get an extension, yada, yada, yada. So, first off, I'm going to start with Kyle Lowry. That's kind of the biggest trade news right now. The Raptors literally said they are not trading him unless he wants out. And I think Kyle Lowry's going to, you know, want out of the Raptors. Right now, the Raptors aren't going to make the playoffs. Kyle Lowry's an old man. Soon to be 35-year-old. He is old. And just like LeBron, he won his team a ring, so why not move on and try to win more? Because right now his team sucks. In a similar situation like LeBron on the Cavs after he came back 3-1 from the Warriors. Why not go join a 76ers team that's stacked? Why not? Why not join a Miami Heat team that has Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo? I think 100% Kyle Lowry should try to leave, and 100% think the Raptors should try to trade him because obviously they have Norman Powell going off this season, and they need the money to re-sign that man. That man needs to stay a Raptor if the Raptors want to stay in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. He's done so good this season. So good. He is obviously going to decline his $11 million player option. And the Raptors are going to need some money to re-sign that man because he's going to want at least $20 million. Easily. Now, there's been trade rumors about Porzingis, the unicorn, Luka's right-hand man. No way in hell, in my opinion, should he be traded. No way in hell. I don't care. Not a single player in the NBA right now, unless they're an all-star, should not be traded for Porzingis. Cutting it down right there. I swear to God, Mavericks, if you trade him. He is so good and so young. Ola Depot of the Rockets is the next guy. He's on the last year of his deal, and obviously we're halfway through the season. A team should not be willing to give the Rockets a first-round pick. You know, the Rockets really screwed up trading Karis LeVert for Ola Depot. And Oladipo has played good this season, but he hasn't shot the best. So his numbers look a little inflated when he's actually not that great this season. He's great defensively. Obviously, he's putting up good numbers, but not the best efficiency. Honestly, I don't give too much for Oladipo. Just don't give too much. If I'm the Miami Heat, though, like a team that I know for sure Oladipo is going to re-sign with, then I'll give up some options. You know, then I'll give him a decent package because I know I'll get to keep him instead of only having him for half a season. But if you're a team that you're not sure, don't trade for him. And if you are, give up like a second-round pick and an okay player. Not any young, amazing players. John Collins is one of the options too. I would love to see this man be a Piston one day. I don't know if he will be, but I'd love to see him on the Pistons. Obviously, the Hawks have underperformed for what they want. John Collins has publicly criticized how Trae Young runs the offense, which is a big thing because Trae Young is the franchise player of the Hawks, not John Collins. So he should not be saying shit about his starting point guard. So just from that, he should be traded. He's played like a beast, but obviously, you know, he's on the last year of his deal. So if a team trades for him, they need to make sure they can keep him. And there's a lot, you know, you have to figure out, is he okay being on a bad team if you're the Pistons? So, you know, there's a lot of question marks there. Laurie Markkanen, if I'm the Bulls, I swear to God, you do not trade Laurie Markkanen. He is a 7-footer. You know, if you got a guy who's 7 feet tall and can score 20 points per game, do not trade him. 7 foot. They can score 20 points a game and can shoot 3-pointers. You're an idiot if you trade him. Idiot, Bulls. Absolute idiots. And then we got Lonzo Ball. His dad has publicly said that Lonzo Ball hates the Pelicans, and he says he wants him out. He honestly said he wants him on the Hornets, but I don't see that happening, obviously, because Lonzo and LaMelo would not fit together. They would keep passing back and forth with each other and never actually score, in my opinion. But it would be cool to see. And LiAngelo make it, that'd be awesome. But it's not the reality of what's going to happen. At the end of the day, you know, Stan Van Gundy has really messed up the style of the Pelicans. They were a fast-paced team before he joined with Alvin Gentry, and I think he ruined that. I mean, obviously some of it was Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams playing at a slower pace, but they need to just go fast-paced. Get rid of Steven Adams, start Jackson Hayes, get rid of Eric Bledsoe, start Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and if I was the Pelicans, re-sign Lonzo Ball for as much money as he wants, is what I would do. But that's not the reality, and fire Stan Van Gundy and hire back Alvin Gentry or some fast-paced coach. Honestly, I would even take Nate McMillan because he's just a very solid coach and very good at defense. But that's not the reality of what's going to happen. They're going to trade Lonzo Ball. They didn't get a deal set with him. Obviously, the whole LeVar comments didn't help. So he's gone. And LA Clippers are a team. But if I was Lonzo, I would want to go to the Knicks. The Knicks are on fire recently. Playing alongside... Did he play with Julius Randle? I don't even remember. But, you know, they were on the Lakers around near the same time. So that would be a little interesting. And obviously, Derrick Rose could back him up. I think that would be a great fit. And he's young. Josh Hart is another guy who no one's talking about. He's on the trade block. This is the last year of his deal. And... you know, the Pelicans have to decide, do they want to keep him? He's averaging 7.3 rebounds per game. And he's a shooting guard. So, he's been a beast on the rebounds, but he only averages like 9 points per game. So, is it worth keeping him? And, you know, how much money will this guy want? Because he's young and a very solid player. But he's not no starting shooting guard. He's a sixth man at best. And his production hasn't been the best. He's kind of like, he's a streaky guy. You don't know how much you're going to get out of him. You don't know if you're going to get like 5 points and 10 rebounds or like 15 points and 10 rebounds. You don't know with the guy. He's inconsistent, but he plays great defense, shoots the three well. If you're going to trade Lonzo, re-sign Josh Hart, in my opinion. Other pieces, Larry Nance Jr. Honestly... I don't even really care to talk about Larry Nance Jr. Trade him if you want to, yada yada. Kelly Oubre Jr. is another piece on the trade block. If I'm the Warriors, I would trade him. I really would. Because you're going to have Klay Thompson back. Andrew Wiggins is the small forward of the future. If you can get a solid, young power forward for Kelly Oubre, I'm trading that man. I'm trading him 100%. But if you can't get a good package back... and he's happy with the Warriors. I don't know the situation with Kelly Oubre. But if he's not happy, you trade him and just try to get... honestly, Kelly Oubre for Marvin Bagley. Who says no? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what team would say no. And, you know, I'll talk about Marvin Bagley. His dad literally tweeted, I want Marvin Bagley out of Sacramento. Or get him out of Sacramento. And then De'Aaron Fox's dad tweeted back, good, get him out. We don't want him. Which is absurd that he replied back to that and said that. But, you know, there was the news of the Kings trying... I can talk. The Kings trying to trade Marvin Bagley for Saddiq Bey. And the Pistons immediately denied that. Marvin Bagley's just like... I don't know, trade value just drops so low. Like, he just... keeps getting injured. He was drafted before Luka. And, you know, he's always going to have that over his head. You know, people thought he was going to be a beast. He was the NCAA College Player of the Year when he was a freshman on Duke. And was an absolute monster. I watched this guy in college. But in my opinion, he's not a power forward. He's a small ball center. And that's why he hasn't been the best. And he plays for Luke Walton. Luke Walton is like the worst coach in the NBA. I would get rid of Luke Walton for a bag of chips and a fucking bloody Band-Aid. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. Plus, with all, like, the, like, rape scandals with him, not to get on a dark topic, but that just instantly does not make me like the man. Rashaan Holmes is interesting. If I'm the Kings, why are you trying to trade Rashaan Holmes? Keep the man. He had a solid season. If you're going to get rid of a King, get rid of Marvin Bagley. Andre Drummond, obviously he's going to get bought out. It's saying that he's going to go to the Lakers, but if I'm Andre Drummond, I'm going to the Nets. I'm trying to get that championship. Kevin Love's an interesting guy because, you know, he's on a big contract, but he never plays. So do you really know what you're getting if you trade for Kevin Love? I don't really know. I don't think anyone's really going to want him unless they buy him out, to be honest. Demar Derozan is one of the pieces that's been talked about recently. Him and LaMarcus Aldridge are on the trade block. And I don't think anyone's going to trade for LaMarcus. Most likely he's going to get bought out, and I'm pretty sure reports have said that. But DeMar DeRozan's interesting. He's averaging 20 points per game. He was almost an all-star, averaging 7 assists also, so he's an amazing playmaker. If I'm one of the top teams and I have the money, I would really hard think about trading for DeMar DeRozan over a guy like Victor Oladipo. If I'm Miami Heat, honestly, I would trade for DeMar DeRozan over Victor Oladipo. I think DeMar DeRozan is a better player, and sue me if you think otherwise, but I just think he's a better player. Like, I'm sorry, I know he's 31 years old, and I know Victor Oladipo's younger. But Victor Oladipo just doesn't have the best shot IQ, passing IQ, but DeMar DeRozan has that, and he's way better of a playmaker. So just that alone would instantly make me have him above. Aaron Gordon is one of the guys who went to the front office and demanded a trade, which is interesting because he's a young guy. He's 25 years old, and he's making $18 million this season, so it's going to be hard to match that money. I'm interested to see what team will trade for the guy. I really am. He's 25, so he's still young. So, you know, I could see him on, like, a rebuilding team like the Pistons. But, honestly, I'd love to see him on the Mavericks. I think he would be a great fit with Luka, great fit with Porzingis, just diving to the basket, dunking, and getting open shots. I'd love to see Aaron Gordon on the Mavericks. Mo Bamba has been talked about in trades. If I'm the Magic, why are you trying to trade Mo Bamba? Trade Vucevic. Like, why have they kept Vucevic for so long? He's an all-star. He's old. They're trying to rebuild. Like, what are they doing? I hate the Magic's front office. You have young pieces. Why are you not letting them play? Like, what are you doing? And if he's not good, trade him for a bag of chips. Why do you have him on your roster? He was a top pick not that long ago. They made a song about him. Like, give the man some minutes or trade his ass. Do something. And then J.J. Redick. I forgot to mention him with the Pelicans. He's most likely going to get bought out. I don't see anyone trading for his $13 million contract when he's 36 years old. He's not the J.J. of the past. But obviously, he's always going to be good at shooting. You know, you don't just lose that over time as long as you practice it. So, and he says he wants to play on a team near his Brooklyn home. So, I just see the pieces lining up. He's going to the Nets. That's my opinion. Maybe the Knicks, I could also see that. Either or, they're both a good fit. Probably the Knicks would be the better fit, to be honest, because the Nets need more defenders, not guys who can't play defense. Lou Will is also on the trading block. I don't know how much to think of that. Unless they can get a really good asset, I wouldn't trade Lou Will if I were the Clippers. Wayne Ellington's most likely gone. He's had a solid season for the Pistons. I've watched him. He's played really good. But he's old, so we don't need him. Trade him for like a second-round pick and get him the hell out of Detroit. Put him on a contender. Like, there's no reason to have him, really. Spencer Dinwiddie's been talked about in trade rumors, and, like, Gary Harris. If I'm the Nets, I'm not trading Spencer Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie. He's a monster, and he can be an amazing six-man for them in the near future once he comes back from injury. Gary Harris has been really injury-prone recently, and they have better shooting guards. Honestly, if someone's willing to take his, like, $20 million, trade him. It doesn't even have to be a good, like, package back. Like, it's just a bad contract for the Nuggets right now. Eric Bledsoe's obviously going to be traded from the Pelicans. He has played terrible for them. He's played like a bag of dog shit. And last season, he was an all-NBA defender. So I don't know what happened to him. And, he started on one of the best teams in the league on the Bucks. It's just, his shooting consistencies, honestly, just his overall offensive consistency. And he just doesn't fit with that Pelicans team. They needed shooting, and they got a guy who can't shoot, basically. And, they have Stan Van Gundy as their coach. Not to make fun of Stan Van Gundy. I just keep talking trash. I can't stop talking trash about Stan Van Gundy. Delon Wright is also another trade piece for the Pistons. Obviously, I'm going to stop talking about the Pistons. All the veterans should be traded for second-round picks and higher and not thought about, besides Jeremy Grant, because Jeremy Grant's a monster. And honestly, was almost an all-star this season. And let me just look. Andre Iguodala obviously is going to be traded soon. There's not much to say there. I don't know why Jarrett Allen is in trade rumors. He should not be traded if on the Cavaliers. He's one of the best young pieces you have on the team. Why is he in trade rumors? He should not be traded for anything. Gorji Dang and JaVale McGee, they're just ant players. Like, I don't think really anyone wants them. But the Cavaliers want a second-round pick for JaVale. They might get it from, like, a contending team like the Lakers, like the Clippers, who want, like, a backup center. And Gorji Dang, I don't think anyone wants Gorji Dang. He has, like, a $17 million expiring contract, so unless they're doing it just to get off a contract, I don't see anyone trading for Gorji Dang. That's all I had to say. I know I was talking really fast and said a lot of info. That's what I think. I also made a video about Lonzo Ball not that long ago. If you want to watch me talk more in depth about where I think he's going to go and where he best fits, click on that video. And also, while you're at it, click that like button. It's at the bottom of the screen. It's honestly right below. It'd be probably right where my nipple is. And then the other nipple is the subscribe button, which you should also hit that button. Peace.